A lot of people are bearish on Bitcoin, bearish on the stock market, whilst everything is pumping. And at the moment, we have seen a pretty heavy pullback from 83,000 down to almost $80,000 on Bitcoin. And people are already starting to freak out, taking a lot of shorts and expecting lower prices. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my perspective on Bitcoin and a couple other assets and what trades I am looking for next. But first, let's summarize what happened in the last 2 months, as that is the last video that I've made for you. As you can see right here, 2 months ago, I gave you this update where I was saying that 73,000 was a possible new short for Bitcoin. So in this video, I was actually quite bullish in reality, and I was calling for higher prices if this anchor VWAP was to be flipped. I actually had two biases. I was talking through the scenario of first hitting this anchor VWAP and then dropping down, or the scenario in which we would flip this anchor VWAP and then pump up to around $84,000. And what's interesting here is that actually the first time that we hit into this anchor VWAP, which was right here, we did see quite a nice drop from 75,000 all the way down to 65,000. And I actually caught this short at the time, which was also shared in my Discord. I was in a short such as this one, and what is actually pretty amazing is that I switched to a long, which I'm still holding, and I will show you in a second, from around 66,000. So I got into these two trades because at this point I was expecting for this anchor VWAP to be tested again, flipped into support, and then I was expecting that bigger pump towards 83,000, which, as you can see right here, I had given in advance. So I actually caught first this scenario to the downside, and then I positioned myself long for this next scenario to take this back up all the way up to 84,000. And here is my account, where, as you can see, my trade, which is now $5,000 in profit, opened at 66,000, and I'm still holding this. I've been holding this for about 43 days, as you can see right here. So that was pretty amazing. And I also bought quite a lot of spot in this whole range, around 1 Bitcoin. So you can imagine the type of profits I'm making on that right now. And in this rise, I also gave some other trades for the Discord, such as this long trade from 78,000 to around 82,000, and then another one from 79,000 to, once again, 82,000. So we've had some fun. But now let's see the next opportunities that we have on Bitcoin. First of all, in my Discord, I had actually given the possibility of a hedge short right around this area. We had a naked point of control. We had the retest of the value area high, and thinking that this high would remain intact, this was the area to short if you wanted to hedge. Now, I'm personally not in any shorts, as I do expect higher, and I don't mind to even compound my trades, which I will cover in a second. Therefore, I'm not in a hedge short, but this was the area to take that short, and I know some people in my Discord have taken it. Now, let's see what is to come next. If we open our order flow, we can see right now we're getting quite a lot of longs opening quite randomly on the chart at around 81,000 to 80,000. You can see 5 million longs here, another 1 million, another 1.5 million, another 1 million here, 5 million right here, 3 million right here at very random pivots in the chart, which makes me think that we're gonna get a little bit more of a retracement before pumping back up towards the target that I will give you in a second. As you can see from the chart, this is quite a random place to take a long. I mean, we don't really have anything. If anything, the first part of support would be around here on this naked point of control, value area low, maybe this Fibonacci retest. This already would make more sense. You take the liquidity right here. But for me, I'm actually looking for deeper targets. We could look at this level more as a day trade where, for example, if price is to go back down, hit that naked point of control, hold the higher low right here, and then stay above the value area low, then you can have a day trading opportunity with stop loss below this low, targeting, for example, new highs. This would be a very good day trade. But for me personally, for a swing trade, I am looking for lower targets, and that is gonna come around $77,000, where we have this Fibonacci retracement, we have the point of control, we have a naked point of control just below, and so I would be looking at something more like a bigger drop into the point of control, hitting those levels, reclaiming the point of control, and then once again we can have a similar setup with our entry, stop loss below the low that we just put, and once again targeting for a new high. If we are to lose this area, I do have another point of support, which for me is going to be the most crucial one to hold if we want to keep seeing Bitcoin push to the upside, and that is going to come around this bigger value area high of the range, which is sitting at around 74,800, as well as the anchor VWAP from the last high at 96,000, which we need to flip into support, and the uptrend anchor VWAP from 66,000. I mean, we can even look at the one from the low right here, which still needs to catch up. But if this takes some time, you know, perhaps around 3 weeks, then we can also have this lining up really nicely with this whole point. So at this point, we would have something like this. And if price drops a little bit more, I mean, I'm giving it room to drop below 73,000 to get the liquidity that we have resting here. And then once we reclaim above that level and we stay above the value area high right here, then we can look for that long trade, once again with the stop loss below the low, and once again targeting higher prices, which I'm gonna cover in a second. But those are my two interesting areas for a long trade. So 77,000 and 75,000. If, however, we lose this, so that means that we start closing some daily candles or weekly candles below this level, which is 75,000 actually, then I would expect a full rotation back down to at least 67,000. And then at this point, I would say that it's looking very weak and we can expect, I mean, it's possible that we reverse around 66,000 to 63,000. But I would say at this point, the chances are that we make a new low towards 57,000. I don't think this is the highest probability. I do think it's very low probability that we do reach these prices at the moment. I do think the low is probably in. And therefore, that's why I would like to long these prices at 77,000 or 75,000. And again, my invalidation is going to be a couple of closes below the $75,000 level. Once again, if we wick into this and go back up, that's not an issue. We can wick into the level. The important thing is that we don't lose it. So now let's cover the targets to the upside that we have here on Bitcoin. The first one that I'm looking at is this volume range that we have been trading in since November of 2024 until we broke out of it in January 2026. And what I'm looking at is the previous range value area low, which sits at around 86,000. We also have the anchor VWAP from all-time high, which if we take some time, this is also gonna slowly start lining up, probably in the next month or two. So for me, 86,000 is the first target for my swing longs that I have from much lower, and also potentially a place where I can look for a hedge short to protect my positions if we get the right reaction, that is, to potentially cover myself for a bigger drop. But optimally, the biggest target is going to be this Fibonacci retracement from all-time high to, as of now, all-time low, which sits between 95,000 to 102,000. I think this is the best target that we have and the best possible scenario, at least for me, based on how I'm positioned in my longs. And I would honestly love to see this, as we also have the point of control. And also when you consider the Elliott waves, we are looking at an ABC retracement, and therefore 5 waves down, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3 up for another 5 down to perhaps my lower targets around 57,000. Of course, we have to take this level to level, because if we come here and we start reclaiming levels, then this is invalidated and we can probably expect a new all-time high. But as of now, I remain with the perspective that we're going to get a big pump to then position ourselves to the downside in shorts, at least to cover ourselves. But also, I'm probably going to be selling most of my spot here and evaluating the situation once we get here, if we get here. But that is my higher time frame perspective. Therefore, I will repeat it once again. I will summarize very quickly. I will be interested in buying up 77,000. If this fails, I will be interested in 75,000 to take this back up to at least 86,000 and potentially higher targets towards 96,000 to 100,000 plus. If, however, we lose this level right here and this fails, I would expect a much bigger drop. And from there, I will make another video where we can evaluate what our next move will be. But as of now, this is my perspective, and I hope everything is clear. I also want to tell you that we have been trading really well. We've had some amazing trades on Hype. Let me show you my last trades on BitUnix, which is the platform on which I trade. I mean, you can see that I've made, this position is still open, 3,000 here. This stock, which I'll also show you in a second, I mean, $1,000 profit, Hype, 700. I mean, I do take some losses, as you can see, but they're very minimal. $5,000 shorting Pippin, another win on Hype for $500. And again, very small losses, very contained, $300 loss, $117 loss, $46 loss. As you can see, my wins are much bigger than my losses. 600 once again on Mu, 3,000 on Hype, 600 on Microsoft, and as you can see, once again, it's very small losses when I take them. So, I mean, obviously this led to a very nice month so far, It's only been around 12 days and I've built this account up to actually almost $60,000, which I started from 2,000. And as you can see, my calendar for May is already looking very nice with just 12 days of trading and $5,500 of profit. And by the way, this volume is actually very low because I don't trade with big size, to be honest, to be making this type of money. So that is to say that if you want to copy my trades, such as for example this amazing long trade on Micron Technology, which is going insane if you guys follow any of the stock market, I share everything for free in my Discord, which you will find in the description of this video. So I hope you join our community and I will see you in the next video.